The dust settled on the dry ground of the rocky wasteland, and Gohan breathed very hard. His chest moved up and down fast because he was tired. Sweat rolled down his face and dripped onto the dirt. He looked at his hands. They were shaking. He was not shaking because he was scared. He was shaking because he was angry. He clenched his fist tight. His fingernails dug into his skin. He had just finished training alone, but it did not feel like enough. The image of the Tournament of Power was still in his head. He remembered seeing Jiren. He remembered seeing his father, Goku, turn into a silver giant with ultra instinct. He remembered seeing Frieza helping them. Gohan felt small. He felt weak. He was the one who was supposed to take over. He was the one who beat Cell when he was just a boy. He was the one who had the ultimate power unleashed by the Elder Kai. But now he felt like he was standing still, while everyone else was running forward. Gohan screamed loud. His voice echoed off the big mountains around him. A white aura burst out of his body. The ground shook and cracked. Rocks floated up into the air. The electricity of his energy snapped and popped like fireworks. But it was not enough. He powered down and the white light faded away. He fell to his knees. He punched the ground. The rock shattered under his fist. He thought about his daughter Pan. She was so small and happy. She did not know that the universe was full of monsters. She did not know that there were people like Frieza or Moro or Jiren who could destroy their whole world in 1 second. Gohan knew he had to be stronger. He could not rely on his dad forever. His dad was always going away to train or fight. Gohan needed to be the wall that protected his family. He stood up and wiped the dirt off his purple pants. He flew into the air and headed back to the city. The wind hit his face. He flew past the clouds. He saw West City below him. It looked peaceful. Cars were driving on the streets like tiny ants. People were walking to work. None of them knew how close they came to dying so many times. Gohan flew toward the Capsule Corp building. He knew that Whis and Beerus might be there today. Bulma had told him that she was making a special feast for them. This was his chance. Gohan landed on the big balcony at Capsule Corp. The smell of delicious food filled the air. He smelled grilled meat and sweet cake. He saw his dad and Vegeta sitting at a table eating very fast. They were shoving food into their mouths. Beerus, the god of destruction, was lying on a chair. He held a glass of juice. Whis was next to him eating a strawberry. Bulma was yelling at Goku to use a napkin. It was a normal day for them. But Gohan felt different today. He walked over to them. His face was serious. He did not smile. Goku looked up, with his mouth full of the rice. He waved at Gohan. He said, "Hey son, come meet with us." Gohan shook his head. He walked past his dad and stopped in front of Whis. Whis looked at Gohan with his calm eyes. He swallowed his strawberry. He asked Gohan if he wanted some dessert. Gohan said no. Gohan looked Whis right in the eyes. He said he needed to ask a favor. The whole table went quiet. Even Vegeta stopped eating. Beerus opened one eye. He looked annoyed. He asked Gohan why he was interrupting his meal. Gohan took a deep breath. He said he wanted to go to Beerus's planet. He said he wanted Whis to train him. Goku swallowed his food. He looked surprised. He said Gohan usually did not like to train that much. He asked Gohan why he wanted to go now. Gohan said he needed to be stronger than he was now. He said his own way of getting stronger was not working fast enough. He said he needed to see what was beyond his limits. Beerus laughed. He sat up in his chair. He put his drink down. He said training was hard work. He said Gohan was too soft. He said Gohan liked to read books and play with his kid. He said Gohan did not have the drive to be a warrior like Goku or Vegeta. Gohan looked at Beerus. He did not look away. He said he was not trying to be a warrior like them. He said He was trying to be a protector. He said he would do anything to keep his family safe. He said if being soft was the problem, then he would stop being soft. Whis looked at Gohan for a long time. He tapped his staff on the ground. He smiled a little bit. He said Gohan had a very interesting look in his eyes today. He said it was not the look of a Saiyan who wants to fight for fun. He said it was the look of someone who carries a heavy burden. Whis looked at Beerus. He asked Beerus if it was okay. Beerus grunted. He said he did not care as long as the food kept coming. He said Gohan would probably quit after one day anyway. He told Gohan not to cry when it got too hard. Gohan bowed. He said thank you. He told Videl and Pan he would be gone for a while. It was a hard goodbye. Pan hugged his leg. She asked him to bring her a present. Gohan promised he would. He kissed Videl. He told her he had to do this. Videl understood. She knew Gohan always worried about them. She told him to be careful. Gohan walked back to Whis. Goku and Vegeta stood up. They said they were coming too. Whis tapped his staff again. A bright light surrounded them. They shot up into the sky faster than light. The trip through space was full of colors. Stars zoomed past them like lines of paint. Gohan watched the universe fly by. He felt nervous. He had been to Beerus's planet before, but only for a short time. This time, he was going there to change who he was. They arrived at the planet. It was a strange place. There was a big tree and a castle. The sky was purple. There were giant hourglasses floating around. The air felt heavy. It was hard to breathe at first. The gravity was very strong. Gohan felt like his body weighed a ton. He stumbled a little bit, but he caught himself. Vegeta looked at Gohan. He crossed his arms. He asked Gohan what his plan was. He said, Whis does not train people for free. He said, you have to bring him food. Gohan nodded. He had brought a capsule full of the best pudding from West City. He gave it to Whis. Whis looked very happy. He ate one immediately. He said it was divine. He told Gohan he could stay. For the first few days, Gohan just watched. He watched Goku and Vegeta train. They moved so fast Gohan could barely see them. They were fighting in their super cyan blue forms. The shock waves from their punches blew the dust away. Gohan saw how relaxed they were. They did not waste energy. Whis kept telling them to let their bodies move on their own. He was teaching them ultra instinct concepts. Gohan tried to copy them in his mind, but it did not feel right. Gohan was a thinker. He analyzed things. He could not just stop thinking like Goku could. One night, Gohan was sitting by the lake on Beerus's planet. The water was still. The oracle fish swam up to him. The fish asked Gohan why he looked so sad. Gohan said he felt stuck. He said Goku and Vegeta were chasing a power that required them to clear their minds. But Gohan's power always came from emotion. It came from anger. It came from a deep need to protect. He did not know how to combine that with God power. Whis appeared behind him. Gohan jumped up. He did not hear Whis coming. Whis told him to sit down. Whis sat next to him on the grass. Whis asked Gohan what he thought about his father's power. Gohan said it was amazing. He said it was peaceful. Whis nodded. He said the angels use ultra instinct. It is a technique of perfect calmness. But then Whis pointed at the castle where Beerus was sleeping. He asked Gohan about Beerus's power. Gohan thought about it. He remembered when Beerus first came to Earth. He remembered the fear. Beerus was not calm. Beerus was destruction. His energy felt jagged and heavy. It felt like a crushing weight. Whis explained that there is another path. He said, if angels represent peace and instinct, then gods of destruction represent chaos and ego. He said they use energy derived from destruction. He called it Hakai. Whis looked at Gohan. He said Gohan was unique. He said Gohan was not pure like Goku. He said Gohan had a darkness inside him. He said Gohan had a lot of rage that he kept locked up in a cage. Gohan looked down. He knew it was true. Ever since he was a kid, he had a temper. When he got angry, his power exploded. But he was always scared of losing control. He was scared he would hurt someone he loved. So he locked the anger away. He tried to be a scholar. He tried to be gentle. Whis stood up. He said that to become stronger, Gohan had to stop running from his nature. He said Goku embraces his instinct. Gohan must embrace his destruction. Whis asked Gohan if he was willing to learn the way of the destroyer. Gohan was shocked. He asked if that meant he had to be evil. Whis laughed. He said destruction is not evil. He said destruction is necessary. He said before new things can be built, old things must be destroyed. It is a part of nature. He said a god of destruction destroys threats to balance the universe. Gohan thought about the enemies who threatened Earth. He thought about Cell. He thought about Boo. He thought about how he hesitated to kill Cell because he wanted to make him suffer. That was a mistake. He thought about how he failed to kill Boo quickly. That was a mistake. If he had the power of destruction, he could have ended those threats instantly. He could ensure no one ever hurt Pan. Gohan looked at Whis. He stood up. His eyes were determined. He said he would do it. He said he wanted to learn the power of destruction. Whis smiled. It was a mysterious smile. He said very well. He said training would start tomorrow. But he warned Gohan. He said this training would be painful. He said Gohan would have to face the darkest parts of himself. He said there was no going back. The next morning, the suns rose over the strange planet. Goku and Vegeta were already stretching. They saw Gohan standing with Whis on a different part of the field. They were confused. Usually, everyone trained together. Goku yelled out to Gohan. He asked what they were doing. Whis held up his hand. He said Gohan was on a different curriculum today. He created a barrier around him and Gohan so they could not be disturbed. Whis handed Gohan a heavy stone. It was a very dense rock. He told Gohan to hold it. Gohan held it. It was heavy, but he could lift it. Whis told him to destroy it. Gohan squeezed the rock. He used his strength. The rock crumbled into dust. Gohan dusted his hands off. He said that was easy. Whis shook his head. He said that was not destruction. That was just crushing something. He said true destruction removes the object from existence. It turns it into nothing. It releases all the energy inside it. Whis picked up a small pebble. He held it on his finger. A purple aura glowed around his hand. He said Hakai softly. The pebble did not crumble. It just vanished. It turned into purple dust and then disappeared completely. There was a small burst of wind. Whis said that is destruction. He told Gohan to try again with a new rock. Gohan tried. He stared at the rock. He tried to bring out his energy. He yelled. He squeezed. The rock broke, but it did not vanish. He tried again and again. For hours he stood there shouting at rocks. His throat hurt. His hands hurt. Goku and Vegeta stopped to watch him from a distance. Vegeta frowned. He realized what Gohan was trying to do. Vegeta knew about Hakai. He had seen Beerus use it. He had tried to learn it a little bit himself. He knew how hard it was. He respected Gohan for trying, but he did not think Gohan had the mindset for it. Gohan was too nice. Beerus woke up from his nap. He walked out onto the balcony of his castle. He yawned and scratched his ear. He looked down at the training field. He saw Gohan yelling at a rock. Beerus floated down. He landed next to Whis. He watched Gohan fail again. Beerus chuckled. He said the boy does not have it in him. He said destruction requires a mind that is willing to erase things. He said Gohan treasures life too much. Whis said maybe, but he said Gohan's desire to protect is what drives him. He said Gohan might find a way to use destruction to protect. Beerus walked up to Gohan. Gohan stopped. He was panting. Beerus looked at him. Beerus picked up a large boulder. He held it in front of Gohan. He told Gohan to imagine that this boulder was the person who was going to kill his daughter. He told Gohan to imagine that if he did not erase this boulder right now, his daughter would disappear. Gohan's eyes went wide. The thought made his heart race. He imagined Pan crying. He imagined a villain reaching for her. A cold feeling washed over him. It was not hot anger like before. It was a cold resolve. He did not want to make the villain suffer. He just wanted the villain gone. He wanted the threat to be zero. Gohan raised his hand. He focused all his energy into his palm. He did not think about being a hero. He thought about removal. He looked at the boulder. He saw it as the enemy. A purple sparks flickered around his hand. It was very small, just a tiny spark. But it was there. Gohan shouted, "Hakai!" He thrust his hand forward. The energy hit the boulder. A chunk of the boulder the size of a basketball did not just break. It turned into purple sand and vanished into the air. The rest of the boulder fell to the ground. Beerus looked at the missing chunk. He looked at Gohan. He looked impressed. He said not bad for a beginner. He said Gohan managed to destroy a piece of it. He said most people can't do that on the first day. Gohan looked at his hand. It was smoking. He felt drained. That one tiny attack used so much energy. He felt dizzy. He fell backward onto the grass. Whis clapped his hands. He said that was a good start. He said Gohan tapped into the right mindset. He said they would work on that feeling. Goku and Vegeta ran over. Goku was amazed. He asked Gohan what that purple light was. He asked if Gohan was learning to be a god of destruction. Gohan nodded weakly. Goku laughed. He said that was crazy. He said he never thought Gohan would choose that path, but he was proud of him for trying something new. Vegeta looked at Gohan seriously. He said, "Be careful." He said that power changes you. He said, if you use it too much, you might lose yourself. Gohan sat up. He looked at his hands. He said he would not lose himself. He said he was doing this for them. He pointed to the sky towards Earth. The weeks went by. The training got harder. Whis made Gohan meditate in dangerous places. He made Gohan sit on top of a needle of rock, while heavy blocks floated around him. If Gohan lost focus, the blocks would crush him. Gohan had to destroy the blocks before they hit him. At first, he got hit a lot. He was covered in bruises. He was tired, but he kept getting back up. One day, Beerus decided to step in. He said he was bored of watching Gohan hit rocks. He said Gohan needed a moving target. Beerus said he would spar with Gohan. Gohan was terrified. Sparring with a god of destruction was suicide. Beerus told him to come at him with the intent to kill. He said if Gohan did not try to destroy him, then Beerus would destroy Gohan. Gohan powered up. He went into his ultimate form. His black hair spiked up. His silver aura flared. He rushed at Beerus. He threw a punch. Beerus dodged it easily with his hands behind his back. Beerus kicked Gohan in the stomach. Gohan flew back and crashed into a tree. The tree snapped. Gohan coughed up spit. Beerus yawned. He said he was falling asleep. He told Gohan to use the purple energy. Gohan got angry. He flew back at Beerus. He tried to summon the destruction energy. Purple energy coated his fists. He punched. Beerus blocked it with one finger. But when the purple energy touched Beerus's finger, there was a small explosion. Beerus felt a tiny sting. He raised an eyebrow. He said that was better. Gohan kept attacking. He was fast. He was using his martial arts skills combined with the destruction energy. Every time he punched, the air crackled. The ground disintegrated where he stepped. Beerus started to use his hands. He blocked and parried. He was still much stronger than Gohan. But Gohan was pushing him to pay attention. Beerus grabbed Gohan's face. He threw him into the ground. He blasted him with a ball of energy. Gohan blocked it, but it burned his arms. Gohan stood up. He was bleeding. His clothes were torn. He was exhausted. Beerus floated above him. He prepared a large sphere of destruction energy. It looked like a mini sun. It was purple and black. The heat was intense. The ground started to melt. Beerus told Gohan to stop it or die. He threw the ball. It moved slowly, but it was huge. Gohan looked at it. He felt the pressure. It felt like the end of the world. He thought about Pan again. He could not die here. If he died, who would protect her? Gohan planted his feet. He put his hands together like the Kamehameha. But he did not call for blue energy. He dug deep into his gut. He found that cold place, that void. He pulled all of it out. A dark purple aura exploded around him. It was mixed with his ultimate silver aura. It looked beautiful and terrifying. He shouted Hakai. He fired a beam of purple energy. It was not a normal beam. It was a beam of erasure. The beam hit Beerus's ball. They clashed. The sound was deafening. It sounded like glass breaking over and over again. The ground under Gohan's feet turned to dust. He sank into the earth. He pushed harder. He screamed. The veins in his neck popped out. He poured every ounce of his spirit into the blast. For a second, his beam pushed Beerus's ball back. Beerus looked shocked. He did not expect that much power. Beerus snapped his fingers. The giant ball exploded. The force knocked Gohan unconscious. He flew back and hit the castle wall. He slid down and lay still. The dust cleared. Beerus landed. He walked over to Gohan. Whis appeared next to him. Whis checked Gohan. He said he was alive but very drained. Whis healed him with his staff. Beerus looked at Gohan's sleeping face. He crossed his arms. He said the kid had potential. He said for a moment he felt a real threat. Not a big one, but a real one. He said Gohan's energy was different from his own. It was not chaotic. It was focused. It was like a surgical knife. Whis smiled. He said Gohan was a prodigy. He said Gohan might be the one they were looking for. When Gohan woke up, he was in a bed in the castle. He sat up. His body ached. He looked around. There was a new outfit folded on the chair. It was not his orange gi. It was not his purple demon suit. It was a variation of the God of Destruction outfit. It had the baggy pants and the sash, but the colors were different. It was dark blue and silver. Gohan stood up. He put on the clothes. They felt light. They felt powerful. He walked out of the room. He found Whis in the garden. Whis saw the clothes. He clapped. He said they fit perfectly. He told Gohan that he had passed the first test. He had shown that he could channel the power of destruction under pressure. But now the real work would begin. Whis told Gohan that he had to learn to control it perfectly. He could not just explode with anger. He had to be able to turn it on and off like a light switch. He had to be able to destroy a virus inside a body without hurting the body. He had to be precise. Goku and Vegeta came back from their training. They saw Gohan in his new clothes. Goku whistled. He said Gohan looked cool. Vegeta nodded. He said the clothes did not make the warrior, but Gohan looked like he meant business. Gohan thanked them. He felt different. He felt heavier, but also stronger. He knew he had a long way to go. He was not as strong as his dad yet. He was not as strong as Beerus, but he was on a path, and for the first time in a long time, he did not feel lost. He knew exactly where he was going. Suddenly, Whis's staff started to glow. A message was coming in. Whis tapped the staff. A hologram appeared. It was the Grand Minister. He looked serious. He said there was an emergency meeting for all gods of destruction and their candidates. He said something strange was happening in Universe 6. Planets were disappearing, but not by the god of destruction's hand. Something else was destroying them. Beerus walked out. He heard the message. He frowned. He looked at Goku and Vegeta. He said, "You two stay here and train." He looked at Gohan. He said, "You come with us." He said this would be a good learning experience. He said Gohan could see what real destruction looked like. Gohan felt a knot in his stomach, but he nodded. He was ready. Whis tapped his staff. A cube of light formed around Beerus, Whis, and Gohan. They floated up into space. They zoomed away toward the palace of Zeno. Gohan looked at the stars. He wondered what was happening in Universe 6. He wondered if Kaba and Kale were okay. He clenched his fist. He would find out soon. And if there was a threat, he would be ready to face it. He was not just a Saiyan anymore. He was a candidate for destruction. Stay tuned for the next episode to see what threat awaits Gohan in Universe 6.